Okay, everybody, welcome to the Eva match briefing for the Welsh team. May I remind you, please, to ask a question, put your hand up and we'll provide a microphone. No question without a microphone, please. Okay.
Hi, Shaun.
Hi, gents.
And ladies. Yeah, how are you?
Not bad. Finally got rid of my jet lag.
Yeah, good news. Michael Checker yesterday said Wales are favourites. Warren responded by said he hopes so. Do you think it's a bit of mind games from Michael, or does he? How do you view it?
I don't think it matters one jot by the time you go at kick-off time who's favourites, you know, who people think's going to win. It's all down to the players in the end, and it's 23 players against 23, so you know all the talk is, you know, it doesn't matter a jot, I don't think.
Shaun, Dan said yesterday that the team have got a target in mind in terms of the number of points they want to keep Australia to. Is that the case? And could you give us an idea of what that might be?
It's less than 50, put it that way. We always set ourselves a target. Sometimes we achieve it, sometimes we don't. The last game we didn't achieve it, so the boys are pretty pumped up to trying to achieve it against what is a fantastic offence in Australia. You know, they've got two brilliant halfbacks, extremely experienced, who know how to push the boys around the park in the right areas, but we have to counteract that.
Shaun, with Australia's attack, what's the key to trying to shut them out, and are you confident you can tomorrow? Well,
it's probably changed a little bit over the last couple of years. I think the last performance showed the driven line-out is a huge presence for them at the moment. You know, it definitely got them out of trouble against Fiji. As I said, the 9 and 10 are always an emphasis for any team, but in particular for Australia, with the experience and skill they have there. And they've also got good impact off the bench. They've got obviously Curtly Beale there, who's a tremendous player. So yeah, they're pretty much an all-round package, really.
Shaun, the height of the tackle technique has reared its head again this week. Have you re-emphasised the boys about the technique this week going into the match and what can happen?
Yeah, we've been practicing for 4 months now, really. Bit of difference for this game for us is we've had 4 months preparation for it. Normally we have 4 days. Usually the first game of the autumn series is against a top-ranked Southern Hemisphere team. So yeah, we have been practicing a lot about our tackle technique and emphasising a couple of basic things, and we have to put that into operation in the game, because obviously it's a very, very critical area. You don't end up with 14 players, even if it's a sin bin.
As you mentioned that long preparation time, does that mean you feel you're better prepared than ever almost in the last sort of decade you've played matches against Australia?
We've been well prepared before, but definitely, obviously, you just work the numbers out yourself, and you get more training sessions you get, and more time you've got to hopefully to make them better. As a coach, there's 2 options, isn't there? You either make them worse or you make them better, and you know, obviously we want to make them better. And I do remember a lot of time we've played against Australia in the past, and the preparation has been limited, but we never use that as an excuse. It was just the way it was, and got on with it. But obviously I prefer to have 4 months preparation.
Hello Shaun, Georgina, Sydney Morning Herald. Defence close to your line, how do you approach that? You saw against Fiji, Australia had a fair bit of success keeping it tight and then spreading it wide, and how do you balance protecting the ruck and protecting it a bit wider?
I'm not telling you. Well, I thought, as I said, I thought Australia's driven line-out was fantastic against Fiji, and pretty much won them the game. And obviously we know Michael Hooper, particularly close to the try line, is incredibly powerful and is absolutely prolific in scoring tries. So we know about the threats, and we have to counteract them with physicality, but disciplined physicality.
Shaun, do you think the game of 2009 against Australia, it was a tough one for you, changed something in your tactical approach against Australia or that kind of team?
So what game was that, sorry?
2009 in Cardiff. You lose 33-12, if I remember well.
Against Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big turning point for us, really. That was when we started to really practice our aerial work, which I think is something is very prolific in the game at the moment. And now we've got people like Liam Williams, Dan Bigger, who are very good in the air. The Australians taught us a lesson that day in it. Obviously, coming from Australian background, Australian rules and stuff like that, it's in their DNA to be very good in the air. A little bit like Irish lads with the Gaelic football. So since then we've practiced it incessantly, and I'd like to think we've improved quite a bit on that. And obviously, that was a bit of a negative performance from us that day.
Shaun, Adam Ashley-Cooper's never lost against Wales in 13 matches. I've noticed following you over the last 6 months that there's a very different change in approach. That perhaps is not necessarily a Welsh thing, that you're saying, yes, we are here to win the World Cup. We are here to be confident. Is that something that you've had to drill into the players, that they buy into this difference in Welsh mentality that's maybe hamstrung the team for the past decade or so?
Well, I don't think it harmed us at the last World Cup. The World Cup in 2011. I thought we did extendingly well at that World Cup, and the last World Cup, we lost in the last second against South Africa, which we went on to lose by 2 points against the All Blacks. So I think we've performed quite well at World Cups. As regards us saying we're going to win the World Cup, that's never really been our approach. Our approach is win the next game, and obviously the next game is for us is against Australia, and we're going into it, as I said, pretty well prepared, going against a formidable opponent, and let's get it on.
So the confidence has not really changed in the last decade. You think that this, as a nation...
Well, it's changed. It's definitely changed. It changed with winning, and obviously we went on a 14-game winning run. That brings confidence, and what winning does, the players have confidence in what you're trying to implement into the game. So if you want to have a soft defence on the edge and you're winning, well, the players will buy into it because they're winning. And all the things we've done recently, because we've got a tremendous winning run, the players are buying into our tactics, greatly.
Shaun, it was close last November, and a penalty kick, and it's been close a lot of games, even though you might have lost them. You're expecting to be a similar scoreline tomorrow?
I think there'll be more points than 9-6, but history tells you that there's been a lot of one-score games between us and Australia, and that's why our discipline is so important. And it wouldn't surprise me if it's a one-score game tomorrow as well, either way. Obviously, hopefully for Wales.
What's your take on the rivalry? It's such a long history of very close scores. Why do you think they're so evenly matched and they're always such thrillers?
Well, we play each other every year, really. That's one thing. Australia come over and they always have a fourth game, and often it seems to be us. As I said, Australia, I've got it on top in a lot of close games over the years. The last one we got on top. Does it matter come kick-off time? Personally, I don't think so, that much. I just think it's each game's a different entity. And as I said, let's get it on. It's two top teams. This is what the World Cup's about. Equally matched teams, having it out in the pool games, and hopefully be a tremendous advert for the game of rugby tomorrow.
Okay, one final question at the front here, please.
Shaun Edwards said yesterday that there's been a bit of blood spill amongst the forwards in training. Can you just give us an insight into what it's been like this week? And I'm guessing motivation is not a problem.
Yeah, well, as Warren said the other day, Alan Wynne usually has a good view of any little scuffles because he's usually part of them. it has been a bit an edge to us all week. Let's be honest, I think both teams have been preparing for this since the draw was made. It's a pivotal game. I said to the players yesterday, this is one of the games you remember for the rest of your life. And, you know, obviously we want to be successful in it.
Okay, thanks everybody. Sit tight, we've got some players on the way.
Yes. Oh, great. Yeah. Shaun, you right? Hey, Alistair. Nice to meet you.